Cedric.
You guys good?
Yep, leave your mics right there.
So staying on the jack position, how have you seen that position sort of evolve since going back to start of spring practice and where you guys are right now, as far as them coming into sort of mastering what they're supposed to do out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think, guys are just getting a lot more reps, starting to really understand the defense more as a whole. And jack is one of the positions that guys like Noah, Chris, and Malachi, Gabe Stevens, they're really starting to get comfortable in. Starting to put in a lot more, pass run stunts, have a little bit of different coverage pieces in there. But, I mean, overall, the overall defense has honestly, everybody has just gotten more comfortable, including that jack position.
How was the scrimmage on Saturday? What were your takeaways? Like when you're sitting back and think about the scrimmage, what stood out to you from what the defense did?
The defense, I think we had a pretty good scrimmage especially, I think we were like, if I'm mistaken, 8 for 11 on third down that we got a defensive stop in that scrimmage, which is really exciting to hear our defense. Third down's the money down, that's the down you want to get off the field. So I think that was very exciting to see. Seen a lot of guys making different plays. Had an interception by Gio Biggers during the scrimmage. So I've seen a lot of good things during the scrimmage and just trying to continue to grow with the defense.
Any players that were kind of surprising to you in the scrimmage and you were like, dang, that surprised me looking back at it?
I wouldn't say particularly in the scrimmage, but one dude that has really been sticking out to me is freshman safety Will Hardy. He's been making plays all camp. He's a very smart player. And I think he's going to get a chance to play this year and give us a chance to win.
After you and Power, there's only a few guys behind you in the middle, and there's not a lot of experience there. Max said the other day that you need Sebastian, you need Ra to kind of get it going. What have you seen from those guys in camp so far?
I've seen tremendous strides from Ra, especially since from when he first got here. I think he's really starting to understand, how to be a college football player and the difference of how you play football in high school than how you play in college. And I think he's starting to get comfortable in the defense as well. Sebastian, he's coming along. He's struggling a little bit, like with the mental aspect of the game, but he's coming along just well. I think he'll be a great player. He has great intangibles, very physical player. But, it's kind of hard for a freshman to come in and kind of learn, a whole new defense at this level. So, but I think he'll start to get it. I mean, I went through it as a freshman myself, so I kind of understand.
What to you will define a successful season coming off of last year? It seemed like the program had momentum the first 2 years with Mac back, and then last year was a bit of a disappointment.
I mean, for me, a successful season would be us, in a New Year's type of Six Bowl or in the ACC championship. That's how I look at it, which would be a successful season for us.
When you speak about Ra, with you and Power kind of starting linebacker, how do you think you can use Ra in this defense? Special sets, is it blitz packages? I mean, not to give away your plan, but a little clue into how you're going to roll out one of the guys who's running like a 4-3, 4-4 as a linebacker.
No, yeah, you're definitely onto something.
Thank you.
I'm not going to put anything out there, but we do got some stuff for Ra where we're going to get him out there on the field, and we're going to let him use his speed to make some plays. Definitely.
He's a little unconventional looking for a middle linebacker because he's not very big, and the official roster actually had him losing a couple of pounds. When you look at him lining up in the middle and you see a guy that's 200, 205, what kind of strikes you about why he could be effective in that role in spite of the fact he's not very big?
Like you say, I mean, he's 200, 205. Those 300-pound dudes can't catch him. That's just for starters. But Ra-Ra's a lot more physical than people think. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. He's going to run at you. He's going to give it your all. And that's really all you can ask for, from a guy playing, a little bit smaller at his size. So I think he'll be just fine. Like I said, the coaches are going to put him in positions to make plays. They're not going to have him, just running up against, 300-pound guys. They're going to put him in position to make plays. So we're definitely going to use him this year for sure.
Said for anyone, for Ra, for Dez, like when you talk about learning how to become a college football player as opposed to the way you played in high school, what is that learning curve? Like, what do you have to figure out, and what do you have to change?
I mean, I don't know if you know how high school football is, but for me, it was see-ball, hit ball. It wasn't you have this gap, you got weak hook dropper, you got to look at formations, you got to see pullers. It wasn't all that, and that's kind of a lot for a freshman to kind of learn, what all that means. Like, sure, a freshman might know a gap, but your gap responsibility might change on the snap of the ball, just from a puller, a swayer, a motion. And so it's a lot to see. Freshmen had to learn how to use their eyes, how to see the whole play and different things. So I mean, it's definitely a lot. It's a learning curve for a lot of people. I know it was for me. Like I said, time and just more and more reps is just going to only make guys better and make them more comfortable.
Who makes the pre-snap calls for like the front 6 or 7?
Me and Power do.
Are you making more than you did last year? Is it about the same? Like what? How does it compare to what you were used to last year?
I'd say it's about the same.
When Gene says searching for inches, what does that mean to you?
So when he says that, he's basically saying searching for inches all around us, right? It's a game of inches, right? You can stop a guy this close, from the goal line, and it won't be a touchdown. So I think what he basically means by that is every little thing that we do matters. Every little thing that we do matters, and like say we have a stunt on, right? We're running a blitz stunt. He talks about closing space on the stunt, keeping it tight, because like if you come around too wide, the guard might be more easier to pick up that stunt. Just to give you an example of what he means by inches all around us. So just being very technical in our work, and yeah.
What do you see with the defensive line now? Week and a half, 2 weeks into camp. What stands out? You think it could be a too deep thing where you're rolling in 4 players every couple downs, whatever?
Oh yeah, I love those guys. The defensive line has taken tremendous strides. I think they're extremely talented. We got guys like Desmond Evans, Miles Murphy, Kevin Hester, Ravo Hassett, Kamen Rucker. You got Noah coming off the edge, Chris coming off the edge. Got Travis Shaw. Got a lot of big people, a lot of talented dudes, and they're really starting to get comfortable in the defense as well. Coach Chiz has done a great job of kind of telling the D-line what he wants from them, and how we're going to use them in the run game and in the pass game. Those guys are going to make a lot of plays this year. They're going to make my life a lot easier for sure.
Do you think Travis is a guy who's going to play a lot from day one?
I definitely think he'll be in the rotation. D-linemen, those big boys, they get tired really easy, so you got to keep them fresh. So we'll probably be rotating them quite a bit during the game. So yeah.
What do you envision out of those guys, Chris and Noah, at the jack? I mean, you think those guys can get after the quarterback? I mean,
yes.
I guess that's the chief responsibility for those guys.
Yes, I definitely think those guys can get off the quarterback. That was like one of the first things I noticed about Mel Taylor when he got here in the spring. He really has a natural pass rush ability. And then Chris is just a hard worker. Like during this offseason, I seen this dude in this indoor a lot of days, by himself, just working on pass rush moves, trying to get better, and I think it's going to show for him. When you put the work in, it's going to show.
You guys good with that?
I got one more